Alright, that right there. What was that?
Oh, you mean this? So normally when Jet is outside, he'll fly up and then slam you down on the ground. But when he's inside, because there's a ceiling, he bonks his head on the ceiling, so he can't fly up. Now he's not actually bonking his head on the ceiling, it's just a glitch, but it looks that way. So we call it Jet bonking his head on the ceiling. It only works in this section right here. But it's a glitch.
I have a question.
Okay.
Does Streets of Rage 2 have any glitches?
Streets of Rage 2 has a lot of glitches. Let me start with the ones that are really common, but hurt you as a player. Axel's Grand Upper is the best move in the game, and it would be even better if it wasn't for a glitch. Axel's punch combo has 2 jabs, a long punch, and then he finishes with a knockdown kick. But why not finish with the Grand Upper for extra damage? And it also seems like a 3-punch would be better than a 2-punch, but it's not. The 3rd punch activates a glitch, which gives Axel a Grand Upper that only does half damage. So a 2-punch Grand Upper actually does more damage than a 3-punch Grand Upper. The best move in the game could have been the best move in all of gaming. Oops. This next glitch is a really bad one since it affects every character in the game. It's called the slow jump. After a certain attack, such as an atomic drop, your next jump has a hiccup attached to it. It may seem like a minor thing, but on this game's Mania difficulty, that hiccup can turn your no death into a failed run.
Didn't ARNG get the first no death in this game?
Michael Dudikoff? No. I got the first no death in this game. Michael Dudikoff. We call this next glitch the aftertaste. The reason why this happens is because of the way the game prioritizes actions. Oh, there's the aftertaste. The special button does not break an animation, like your character being stunned by an attack, but instead it gets buffered and then performed at the first opportunity. So an enemy hits you with a knockdown move, the stun animation happens, but you also hit your special button during this period, so you special once the stun wears off. But it was a knockdown attack, so after you perform the special, then you hit the ground, and that's why we call it the aftertaste. Another annoying glitch is when your hitbox gets stuck inside an object's hitbox. It also can cause some strange things to happen. This one's the least common of the glitches that work against you, but it still happens enough that I'm sure even casual players have experienced it. It's when Signal throws you out of bounds through the wall. Once here, they can't get to you, but you can't get to them either, so you have to walk back in bounds. You can also do it to them. You can also do this to your teammate, and so long as they don't walk back down, they can stay up there.
Are there any glitches that work in the player's favor?
Out of the glitches that favor the player, I'll start with the big guns, the Handshake of Doom. This works anytime 2 damaging attacks are performed on opposite sides at the same time. This also means that 2 enemies, or an enemy and a player, can Handshake of Doom you, but that's very rare. In co-op, you can handshake them. Once in it, your attack glitches, performing the damage until the enemy is dead. The next is difficult to pull off. It's called the backwards Grand Upper. Instead of doing your normal forward attack, you throw a backwards in there before the attack. Instead of moving forward during the Grand Upper, you move backwards. It's not a move that you need to know, but it's nice to have for those just-in-case moments. A move that you should learn if you want to play on Mania is the backwards jump. Normally, you jump in the direction that you're facing, but with precise inputs, you can jump backwards while still facing forward. Final Fight also has a backwards jump, and it's handy in that game too. The best Max specific glitch is his Thunder Tackle into a blocking Barbin or a blocking Zamza. When this happens, the results are devastating for them. Too bad it doesn't work on the kickboxers. On the opposite side is the robot knife glitch. The game can only handle 6 objects on screen at once, so if you get Jack to leave 6 knives on the ground, then the robots won't have a hitbox on their mace arm. Or their laser. No hitbox, no damage. Better than removing an enemy's hitbox is to remove the enemy entirely. 2 bikers jump off their motorcycles to give you trouble, but an off-screen grenade explosion, along with you moving in a certain position, can despawn them both. No more annoying bikers.
You mentioned Zamza.
Okay.
What about jumping through Zamza's uppercut?
Jumping through Zamza's uppercut is not a glitch, it's an exploit.
What's the difference?
The short answer is, I'm not entirely sure. The long answer is me using Wikipedia to help me out. Glitching is the practice of players exploiting faults in a video game's programming to achieve tasks that give them an unfair advantage in the game over NPCs or other players, such as running through walls or defying the game's physics. Not a bad explanation, but we've also seen the game using glitches against us. So it's a two-way street. Technically, an advantageous glitch is also an exploit, but personally, I like to consider an exploit a mechanic that is intended, but the player is using it in a way that the developers maybe didn't think about. Like for instance, in Mario, when you're using a shell jump. In Super Mario, using a shell jump is not a glitch. It was intended that you could grab, run with, throw, and jump off of a shell. But it's safe to assume that the developers didn't intend on you reaching heights this high.
Where'd Mario get that shell?
Kind sir, if you are implying that Mario would harm a shelled creature, you are mistaken.
Didn't Mario go on a rampage recently?
Yes. But I suspect that sinister forces were behind that rampage. And I do declare, kind sir, that if Mario were to ever go on a rampage again, he mustn't be controlled by the hand of a dark and sinister feller. I do declare. Not all glitches serve to harm or aid the player. Some are fairly useless. Exiting the screen in the wrong direction right before the next scene starts. Jumping out of the level 4 elevator. Or turning off the music. There's also some very rare and equally strange glitches. such as the Jack exploding knife glitch.
Huh?
Max falling down again,
What?
and Max's invisible suplex. All of these randomly happened while I was streaming,
I don't know what the heck that was.
and I've never been able to duplicate them. Then there's the equally rare ones, but these ones break your game. I found this one with Skate, and I'm still confused as to what all happened, but it soft-locked my game. I call it the Kick Biker mutation, since it appears as though a grenade has fused a kickboxer and biker together.
Wow, I've never seen that before.
This one won't break your game, but it might break your heart. It's called the dead body glitch, and it's just, it's too soon. I can't talk about it. I learned a lot about Streets of Rage 2 and a lot about Streets of Rage 2 glitches from G-Saurus. I'm going to leave a link to his YouTube channel and his glitch playlist down below in the description. If I ever have a question about Streets of Rage 2, he's usually the first person I go to and ask.
So, which is your favorite glitch?
My favorite glitch in the entire game, I'd have to go with the Handshake of Doom. And there's certain games that
And
do
here's
that.
it.
There it
Oh,
is.
we got it!
Yep, there it is. I knew I was going to get it there too.
The handshake of doom!
Yeah. There's nothing more satisfying than syncing up with your partner and insta-killing an enemy.
Yeah,
we got
we
one
got
dirty!
That was awesome.
Let's get another one. Did I just perfect that?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh!
You're still stuck. Oh man.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
dude!
We got two.
It's so in a row.
I'm like, no, we were like totally saying that as a.
Yeah! That is insane, dude. Then we'll do a 4 elevator finish. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh my God.
where we jump out of screen.
I did another backwards.
Oh, nice. Jump out. Lame Axel. Lame Axel. Just standing there. I can jump out too, man. I think that's it. We done?
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, and if you have a question about Streets of Rage 2, leave it in the comments down below, and maybe your question might make it into one of these videos. And remember to hit the guys. Kind sir, if you are implying that Mario would harm a shelled creature, you are mistaken. Yes. But I suspect that sinister forces were behind that rampage. And I do declare, kind sir, that if Mario were to ever go on a rampage again, he mustn't be controlled by the hand of a dark and sinister feller. I do declare. To hit the guys.